So I had BMNR as my top pick here since last night. I got a big position last night on this ETH breakout. I'm looking at the ETH daily chart, and the ETH daily chart says to me, based on this RSI not being overbought yet, that we're going to break over 4,000. Man, Godfather and I, at the same exact millisecond, posted in the VIP chat yesterday saying, hey, it looks like this wants to break 4,000. And then literally 3 minutes later, it started rocketing hundreds of dollars. I don't know if you saw that, right? That was crazy timing. So in any case, that's the top pick of the day. And BMNR is a top pick the prior day as well. So I have a top pick, not the top pick. I have a next target of $45.70 for BMNR. I got like a 10% position or something at this point. You'll see the allocations in the morning. I think I'm just going to keep it. Okay. I think I'm going to try. I'm going to try to just swing this. I mean, at this point, BMNR is the MSTR of the Ethereum space. Ethereum is just, exploding, not only based on the chart, but based on all these ETH treasury things that are going on. That's just going to support the price even further. So I like this BMNR as a top pick again today.
Going back to Mobilicom, yes, we've built an amazing portfolio of technologies that we own down to the bit. We developed that, we own the patents, we have the know-how, we are establishing that, we are not buying and reselling anything. Until now, all the critical assets Mobilicom own across the different software, cyber, and hardware families of products are owned by Mobilicom.
Is there some hockey stick growth coming for you soon based on these things you're talking about? And
yeah,
when will that happen?
I think that we are already experiencing that because as they will win and lock those programs of record, and sometimes even before that, as the last order has demonstrated, we moved from purchase orders of $200,000 roughly to 1.4 was the last one on a quarterly or almost quarterly base, and that shows that it's 6-7 times more. And that shows there's a ramp up that is already happening, okay? And they will accelerate as they will win more and more. They will win portion of this market, and doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those 10 programs. It's amazing for Mobilicom because one program will move Mobilicom into tens of millions of dollars in revenue on a yearly basis.
This hockey stick growth we're just talking about with all these programs of records, you're hoping that even one of them hits. Again, when might we see that on the top line? Is that something we see in 2025, Q3 or Q4, or is it more a 2026 event?
So I think that the deliveries will be built into 2026, but some of them are asking for acceleration. So it really depends on the government decision on how fast to move. We see a great movement on trying to accelerate programs. The recent purchase order came to our partner because the American government couldn't wait for a decision of program of record, but wanted to accelerate the activity based on the Pentagon and other decisions. So they started to deploy battalions. It could be that additional one like that will come, and definitely with the program of record, more of those will come. So the recent report that was published today mentioned that we have about $7 million cash in hand, which is a very strong position to be when you are burning $260,000 a month. So our burn rate is very, very low.
Sounds like you could possibly get to 10 million sales in 2026 if one of these.
Definitely. If one program of record hits, one of the many that our customers are working with us can automatically bring us theirs. Or at least give us the backlog to be there right after. So yes, this is the idea. And this is without the innovation that we brought on the cybersecurity. I don't think that people understand the magnitude of the cybersecurity position we hold in this market.
We now have enough we have over a year's worth of cash on hand.
The significant thing right now with this runway, since I came on board just under 3 years ago, our runway has never been more than 4 to 6 months. And we would be running the business, but then we'd have to try to do the capital raising as well. So, we got to the point here where with the investors that wanted to invest in the company, and then with the stock price appreciation and the amount of cash we were able to get, we now have that runway that's over a year, which is really good for us from long-term planning and execution. We're looking to get to this point where we could have that inflection of we got enough cash to get us to profitability, and then from there we can start taking care of it with our own cash flow from operations.
That's beautiful. Saying that just Baltimore could be millions of dollars. We're talking about, and by the way, we didn't even get to the fact that you're pilot testing in New York City. Baltimore, Hong Kong, Irvine, compared to your current revenue run rate, I mean, these are potentially huge inflection points that can really take your company to a comfortable profitability level. I can't wait for all this to play out. I mean, am I wrong to be this excited, Joel?
No, we're very excited about it because it's the one thing that everyone has to realize is that they want to do their own pilot programs and see that. I'll just read you the quote that we got back this week. It says, "We are seeing less activity in a week than we used to see every day." And so what they're finding is this is in Chicago, a major theme park that we cannot name. That's probably one of the largest in the world. Actually started testing the product last November. They stopped by our booth at Pest World and said, we would like to try this out. And so we made sure that they got a couple of pails of the product. And I'm happy to report that they just started putting it into full-scale implementation where they ordered a pallet and a half of product additionally. That's another exciting thing is we just had the groundbreaking, well, it's not groundbreaking, it was the ribbon cutting ceremony for our new facility in Surprise, Arizona. So that's on our website, check that out. We've automated our line so that human hands do not, once the ingredients are put in the mixer, human hands really don't touch it again. It goes through the manufacturing process into the pouches or the pails, and then it's packaged. So we're really excited about that. That increases our capacity by 25% by just doing that.
So I had BMNR as my top pick here since last night. I got a big position last night on this ETH breakout. I'm looking at the ETH daily chart, and the ETH daily chart says to me, based on this RSI not being overbought yet, that we're going to break over 4,000. Man, Godfather and I, at the same exact millisecond, posted in the VIP chat yesterday saying, hey, it looks like this wants to break 4,000. And then literally 3 minutes later, it started rocketing hundreds of dollars. I don't know if you saw that, right? That was crazy timing. So in any case, that was epic. That's the top pick of the day. And BMNR is the top pick the prior day as well. So I have a top pick, not the top pick. I have a next target of $45.70 for BMNR. I got like a 10% position or something at this point. You'll see the allocations in the morning. I think I'm just gonna keep it. Okay. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to just swing this. I mean, at this point, BMNR is the MSTR of the Ethereum space. Ethereum is just exploding, not only based on the chart, but based on all these ETH treasury things that are going on. That's just gonna support the price even further. So I like this BMNR as a top pick again today. Man, this AEO, American Eagle, I have to tell you, I didn't get in it yet, but I gave some big potential targets on American Eagle because of the Sydney Sweeney thing really blew up, in my view, over the weekend. I mean, I was aware of it last week.
Still blowing up.
But it was accelerating all over my feed. I mean, I think it's becoming like a meme thing. I gotta in fact, I'm gonna pick some up right here at 11:30 because of that. AMD, we had multiple catalysts on this. Google increasing capex. We had the executive orders on AI. We had some comments from the CEO of AMD yesterday. We had this, and then we had the whole reason we've been playing this is because of the increase, the product updates in terms of competing with NVIDIA. So this has been in play for weeks. And I waited, and I got back into AMD calls yesterday. Ahead of the AI event, I wanted to get in. And so now I'm thinking, and I put in the morning note, I think we could make 162 there, that will high, and then call a swing target of 174. And these are the same targets I had like last week, right? It kind of fell short over here, pull back. I'm keeping those same targets of let's break that 162 and head to 174. So I had BMNR as my top pick here since last night. I got a big position last night on this ETH breakout. I'm looking at the ETH daily chart, and the ETH daily chart says to me, based on this RSI not being overbought yet, that we're going to break over 4,000. Man, Godfather and I, at the same exact millisecond, posted in the VIP chat yesterday saying, hey, it looks like this wants to break 4,000. And then literally 3 minutes later, it started rocketing hundreds of dollars. I don't know if you saw that, right? That was crazy timing. So in any case, that's the top pick of the day. And BMNR is a top pick the prior day as well. So I have a top pick, not the top pick. I have a next target of $45.70 for BMNR. I got like a 10% position or something at this point. You'll see the allocations in the morning. I think I'm just going to keep it. Okay. I think I'm going to try. I'm going to try to just swing this. I mean, at this point, BMNR is the MSTR of the Ethereum space. Ethereum is just, exploding, not only based on the chart, but based on all these ETH treasury things that are going on. That's just going to support the price even further. So I like this BMNR as a top pick again today. Man, this AEO, American Eagle, I have to tell you, I didn't get in it yet, but I gave some big potential targets on American Eagle because of the Sydney Sweeney thing really blew up, in my view, over the weekend. I mean, I was aware of it last week.
Still blowing up.
But it was accelerating all over my feed. I mean, I think it's becoming like a meme thing. I gotta in fact, I'm gonna pick some up right here at 11:30 because of that. AMD, we had multiple catalysts on this. Google increasing capex. We had the executive orders on AI. We had some comments from the CEO of AMD yesterday. We had this, and then we had the whole reason we've been playing this is because of the increase, the product updates in terms of competing with NVIDIA. So this has been in play for weeks. And I waited, and I got back into AMD calls yesterday. Ahead of the AI event, I wanted to get in. And so now I'm thinking, and I put in the morning note, I think we could make 162 there, that will high, and then call a swing target of 174. And these are the same targets I had like last week, right? It kind of fell short over here, pull back. I'm keeping those same targets of let's break that 162 and head to 174. So I had BMNR as my top pick here since last night. I got a big position last night on this ETH breakout. I'm looking at the ETH daily chart, and the ETH daily chart says to me, based on this RSI not being overbought yet, that we're going to break over 4,000. Man, Godfather and I, at the same exact millisecond, posted in the VIP chat yesterday saying, hey, it looks like this wants to break 4,000. And then literally 3 minutes later, it started rocketing hundreds of dollars. I don't know if you saw that, right? That was crazy timing. So in any case,
Yeah, dude, that was epic.
that's the top pick of the day, and BMNR is a top pick the prior day as well. So I have a top pick, not the top pick. I have a next target of $45.70 for BMNR. I got like a 10% position or something at this point. You'll see the allocations in the morning. I think I'm just gonna keep it. Okay. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to just swing this. I mean, at this point, BMNR is the MSTR of the Ethereum space. Ethereum is just, exploding, not only based on the chart, but based on all these ETH treasury things that are going on. That's just going to support the price even further. So I like this. BMNR as a top pick again today. Man, this AEO, American Eagle, I have to tell you, I didn't get in it yet, but I gave some big potential targets on American Eagle because of the Sydney Sweeney thing really blew up, in my view, over the weekend. I mean, I was aware of it last week.
Still blowing up.
But it was like accelerating all over my feed. I mean, I think it's becoming like a meme thing. I gotta in fact, I'm gonna pick some up right here at 11:30 because of that. AMD, we had multiple catalysts on this. Google increasing capex. We had the executive orders on AI. We had some comments from the CEO of AMD yesterday. We had this, and then we had the whole reason we've been playing this is because of the increase, the product updates in terms of competing with NVIDIA. So this has been in play for weeks. And I waited, and I got back into AMD calls yesterday. Ahead of the AI event, I wanted to get in. And so now I'm thinking, and I put in the morning note, I think we can take 162 there, that will high, and then call a swing target of 174. And these are the same targets I had like last week, right? It kind of fell short over here, pull back. I'm keeping those same targets of let's break that 162 and head to 174. Good morning, story traders. It is Thursday, August 14th. We're here with you through 11 a.m., probably 11:30 a.m. or so. Got a big show for you here. It's going to be free on X until then. I'm going to do a pre-market prep. I'll get into live trading at 10:30 a.m. We're doing a CEO interview. A very interesting opportunity with a SPAC that looks like it's might be an opportunity with the price right now. Something weird happened to the stock yesterday. We'll talk about that. CSLM. All right, so that's going to be at 10:30 a.m. And man, it's a wild morning over here this morning. We'll see if we can pull off a green day. Working on it. All right, we got some good things going with the markets down big. Definitely going to be hit a little bit with a couple long positions I had overnight. We got some great ideas for you this morning. Our Discord's already banking on Wolf, WULF. We'll talk about that. So PPI came in hot this morning. What was it? 0.2% hot? Let me see if I can pull it up from our Discord over here. PPI came in 0.9%. Yeah, it missed by 0.2%.
Yeah.
Right? So it came in 0.2% hot. What about the jobs data? There's also jobs data Jobless claims 224 around in line, 224 versus 225. Okay. So PPI came in hot. Now, I will note, though, and that's reversing a lot of the gains, from IWM last couple of days. I will note, though, we have the totality of the data so far. This is like the first hot print of anything more than 0.1%, first of all. And I didn't really expect this because usually these other prints besides CPI, there's usually no surprises, right? We have CPI, we have PCE, we have PPI, obviously, today. And it's usually pretty much no surprises. And you can pretty much go by what the CPI is. That's been my experience. That's what I've been seeing over the last couple of years. So a little bit of a surprise, and obviously to the market, a little bit of a surprise to 0.2%. However, PCE is obviously CPI is the headline which really moves markets. But the Fed's preferred inflation metrics are PCE, and then apparently, according to ChatGPT, ECI, which I don't even know what that is, employment cost index, but the ones I've heard of, okay, PCE, CPI, and then PPI. All right, out of those three, PPI is last, and the reason it's last for the Fed is that the Fed puts less weight on PPI since it's more volatile and services dominate the U.S. economy rather than goods. However, with the tariffs and good inflation, I'm not sure that is completely an accurate comment there from ChatGPT. So, you know what? I don't know what IWM is going to do today. I don't know if this move is going to accelerate or if it's just going to hold here. Let's look at the technicals, and IWM is the thing to look at rather than SPY QQQ right now. That's the thing that's been breaking out on the light CPI data. And man, I called down here. I was actually surprised. It was on this day, on August 1st. I'm like, I think IWM is going to outperform QQQ SPY. And you know what? It probably did since then. And the reason I said that was because of the bad jobs data. Those big jobs revisions meant higher chance of interest rate cuts. And there, look what we saw. But it really didn't, in a meaningful way, outperform SPY QQQ until light CPI yesterday. Now we're pulling back here. The breakout level was 226.71. 226. Oh man, I'm gonna have a problem with my finger today. I burnt my finger boiling eggs this morning, and it's hard to use the mouse. Okay, so 226.71 over here. That's still well above that. What's yesterday's low? Yesterday's low, 227.83, still above that. Okay, where'd it bounce off? Pretty much off of yesterday's low, 227.46. So maybe the market's going to just shrug this off and say, you know what, this is PPI. We care more about PCE and CPI. Maybe the market's going to shrug it off. But, Bitcoin, crypto, leading risk indicators really don't like it. So honestly, I really don't know what IWM is going to do today. And in a lot of ways, I don't really care. Okay. I'm this individual stock picker, and I think the stocks we picked this morning are going to be resilient and will do whatever they want to do anyway, regardless of CPI. Now, there are a couple stocks that I shed this morning because of hot PPI, which I think are impacted by this PPI. One of them's Peloton. I still have some call options on this, though, but I sold my common shares up here, 865. If IWM goes down, if it's a bad day for risk assets, then Peloton will go down. But we have a swing trade on this, and the swing trade's still valid for roughly an $11 target, 1090 to 1150. Okay, I'm not going to go into the whole thesis here. We've been sharing it, made an official swing pick yesterday, but we've been talking about it for a while. We've been in it since the last few days. That's going to be in the Discord and the morning note. You can take a look at that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to show this to you. Morning note. Okay, today's morning note. Yesterday beat the markets again for the 8th consecutive day, up 1.75% versus SPY at 0.34%. My official trade account. Everything is transparent, even my allocation sizes. Year to date, 388%. This is a little bit overstated because I bought COHR and after hours last night, and Fidelity calculates things based on the 4 p.m. close, not the after hours close. So it thought my account value is higher than it really is there, but not by much. So anyway, we'll get that updated more accurately by tomorrow morning. I wanted to pause here for 1 second, Rhett. if you have any comments on the macro, the IWM, I know you trade QQQ, SPY, IWM. Definitely would love to hear from you on that, and then we'll dive into these individual stock picks.
Yeah, I think we still may see a little more room to the downside here, but whenever you see these big moves down, you normally tend to see a nice little spike up at the open. But we'll see, because last time a few months ago when we saw something like this, we actually spiked straight down. So we'll see what happens at the open. I'm gonna play it as the market opens here.
Okay, so let's head into top picks. First, all right, look, I know it's going up, so let me just tell you. All right, Wolf, probably number one pick of the day at $6.40. I put an alert out updating our morning note. So morning note came out at 6:30 a.m. this morning, as it usually does before 7 a.m. But then we had the Wolf news at 7. So we have our official trade ideas down here. You see Peloton swing was one of them, but after that, we got the 7 a.m. news on Wolf, and then we had the 8:30 a.m. PPI. So this list kind of changing. All right, we sent an alert out letting people know that Wolf is a top pick here today. Put that alert out at $6.40. And I have a target here as high as 9:30. You can spot that very easily by quickly going to the weekly chart. You can see what I'm talking about, the proximal high up there at 9:30. The first target resistance was $7. We broke past that $7. So I think this is going to be in play all day today. Now, as we've been seeing a lot lately, stocks that do well in pre-market and have good news tend to often have some big red candles in the first couple minutes, which turn out to be buying opportunities. So I'm going to be looking at that possibility in Wolf. But Wolf is going to help us hopefully get towards the green day, but it's going to be a little bit tough because I am going to get hit on some things here, including BZAI swing, the Peloton call options I told you about, and LEU I picked up this morning around 190, not too bad, down $3, 190, 190 and a half. And actually, I don't know about Core. I've been chopped. I can't decide if I want to be in Core. Just quickly, I don't know this company well. This is something Godfather knows is covering, and it's down 20% on earnings, which are basically modest beat for the quarter and then inline guidance. And it's down 20%. Chopped in and out. I can't decide if I want to be in the stock because the Godfather stocks I'm trying to borrow conviction. Down 20% for what reason? I mean, the only thing I can find is that it was kind of sell the news because it met expectations, right? It's either it went up a lot and it's sell the news, and or maybe there was a headline from Benzinga associating the drop to the fact that they sold a unit, a defense unit for $400 million, and space and defense unit, I think it was, and maybe investors don't like that. So I don't know, man, I'm hoarse. Honestly, I'm thinking again, I'm getting myself chopped out of it again. It's like very appealing. Also, it's a boring company, big cap, 17 billion. If you look at the metrics here, PE, PS, price to sales 3. I'm leaning on the Godfather knows to say, hey, this is a good valuation, and if the market's pulling back, maybe you want to be in something that's down 20% for like no good reason. But honestly, I'm just talking this out loud to figure out what I want to do here. All right. Like I had sold it this morning because I'm like, I just want to focus on Wolf today. And I got like sucked back in a little bit when I saw it pop over here. I'm like, okay, I guess he was right. But you know what? I just hate missing out if other people in our community, especially Godfather knows, has a pick and it explodes. And I'm like, why didn't I follow him? Like I get a little FOMO sometimes on that. But the issue is here, we're between the 50 and the 200 DMA, and we could drop to the 200 DMA before a rebound. That's another $5 lower than here, 86.50. So, I appreciate that this could be a long-term investment. But I think I just talked myself. I'm going to chop myself out of it again. So I'm going to chop myself out of this again. This account, what we do here is mostly about day and swing trading. And we really focus on preserving capital in the near term through market volatility. That's a big thing that I try to do with my account. So even if something is undervalued, if it doesn't seem to have the momentum, the sentiment on its side, I try to avoid it in my trading account. So I just got chopped out of that again. So took another loss on core. Okay. Why? Well, Wolf pulling back here. I already talked about that. Okay. I already told you what my targets are. I just got to check something else. Okay. I'm waiting on news on SPCB. We didn't get it yet. They report weird times, man. They have a conference call at 10 a.m. and it looks like they're going to put their press release out right before the open, I guess. They've done that before. All right, so I covered Wolf. Cypher, CIFR, I think you can see a sympathy play with Cypher today. All right. Man, I was driving when this was happening, driving to the office. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Maybe if I had some loan waters, maybe sell some, buy back lower, whatever. All right. We're making good money on it so far today. All right. So Cypher, sympathy play. I think this is one that can buck the market, that can buck the IWM today because this deal, I didn't even talk about the deal with the Wolf here. Let me just get the Benzinga headlines for you on Wolf. They got a deal backed by Google. Google backstops 1.8 billion of Fluidstack obligations. TeraWolf trading higher after it signed over a 200 megawatt 10-year AI hosting agreement with Fluidstack. Let me just get into the press release here. Here we go. Transaction anchors 3.7 billion in contracted revenues with potential to reach 8.7 billion. And Google receives 8% equity stake in Wolf, WULF. So I think this is going to buck the market trend today. 30% short, by the way. And when you see that often, and I don't know if it's because their shorts are so convicted, they're selling at the open, or because somehow they're manipulating it. But when you see these very highly shorted names with good news, you often get that flush down in the opening candles. Okay. So, so we got Wolf, and I think you're going to see sympathy move in Cypher and many others in the high compute, Bitcoin mining, shifting the HPC space. Okay, there's a ton of those names, but I think it's fine to just have one other sympathy focus. So that's going to be what I'm looking at. Wolf and Cypher, and then LEU. I mean, this thing I've missed all year, and I'm like chomping at the bit. I'm seeing this correction, and then Godfather comes and says it's a buy on this offering that they did. Oversubscribed. He put in the pricing. Let me go to Discord. Where's my Discord link here? Okay. Wolf. No. VIP trading. Okay. Let's see what the Godfather here said about LEU. It's 9:20. I gotta talk a little quicker. Rhett, where's the LEU? You know what? I like the search function they're doing on the desktop browser. Okay. Godfather says LEU 0% converts, oversubscribed, upsized to 700 million, priced at 229.62. I don't know exact. It's not. I don't think that's common shares. Otherwise, it'd be up at 229.62. I'm not sure how that works. Still have 13-day, 105 million green shoots. Stock should continue to move higher on this. And I got in big size at like 190, 191. And you know what? I'm tempted to. I think I'm just going to keep it. Unlike the core, because this is one that I've missed out on all year. I think it's a nuclear name. Okay. And, I've been so bullish nuclear for years. Really, it was way ahead of the curve. And, I was in SMR when it was like single digits. And I was like, I'm going to hold this forever. And then I didn't, So I kind of missed out. I do have the ETF URA in my retirement account. But, I missed out on this LEU. So any excuse Godfather tells me it's a buy, I'm stepping in. So even on a day like today, because I don't think CPI, PPI, slowing economy has much to do at all, inflation, whatever, has much to do at all with the fundamentals of LEU business. Okay. Doesn't mean it can't go down, if market is going down. Someone's asking there, Robert, are there any discount codes for your Discord? You can maybe find something if there is and put it up on the bottom, Chiron there. Okay, so anyway,
Yeah,
so I'm long Wolf, CIFR, and LEU, which I bought all of these in pre-market today. I'm also long on this CCIR, which is it's a SPAC changing to KYIV. And I didn't do any fundamental research on this Ukrainian company, but there's some buzz out there, some noise some people are trying to make on FinTwit. Okay, you might know who they are. And I don't know if they're right or not, but it's growing on me now because now it's the day before Russia and Trump are meeting. Trump's meeting Putin tomorrow in Alaska. So I guess the thesis is here, now you get a pure play Ukrainian stock the day before, you might have some progress on a ceasefire. Now, the ceasefire is not going to be announced tomorrow because they pretty much said as much, okay, that it's going to take multiple meetings. But in any case, I'm starting to like this. This, I think, was supposed to trade. If it hasn't happened today yet in pre-market, it's not going to happen today. All right, so it looks like the ticker symbol is going to change tomorrow at this point to KYIV. So I bought some this morning at 12. Also yesterday, I bought some in a smaller account. It's a little tricky buying these D-SPACs because depending on your broker, like a lot of brokers, you won't be able to sell the next morning when it opens under the new ticker. That was the main reason I was hesitating. Like last time we did Pew, the one that changed to Pew, it was a CLRB, was it, Rhett, before it changed to Pew?
Yeah, it was CLBR.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up making a lot of money on that day, but it was hard, and most people had trouble. I couldn't sell it on Fidelity online. I had to call them, and it took like a 10, 15-minute phone call in pre-market, and I did it live while I was on the show, went on mute, and I was able to sell Pew up at like $13, $14, and then it like crashed all day long. So it's a little difficult to sell in pre-market. And by the way, that's why they go high. That's one of the reasons, is because people have trouble selling. A lot of brokers kind of make it difficult for you. So the supply is artificially low. The prices go crazy on the first day of D-SPAC. And if you have a broker that lets you sell on the first day of D-SPAC early in the morning, you can make a lot of money that way. So anyway, that's a possibility for CCIR changing to Kiev early tomorrow morning, KYIV. Okay, so, and there might be an event anticipation run on that today. So, okay, so these are currently my top picks. Peloton and BZAI were supposed to be in there, but I'm taking them off because of the hot PPI today. And we just have better things, all right? Even Quick, we're not going to talk about these today, okay? None of these. Rocket Lab, all of these are off the list. Rhett, so you're going to have to update the top picks.
Yeah, so let's go through that real quick right now.
Right. It's going to be Wolf, and then we have the Cypher Sympathy Play. We have LEU, and we have CCIR. And I think that's going to be it. Hold on, let me check the morning note to see what we originally. So we're yeah. That's it. All right, those are the picks. It basically completely changed. The only thing that we're keeping is CCIR, and possibly we're going to have a pick here with SPCB, but we got to see what they report. Oh, just came out. Hold on. Whoa. They crushed it. SPCB crushed it.
So we're adding it.
Okay. I just added SPCB at $10.83. Now, let me read the whole thing. That's just off the headline. I act fast, and then I go back and read. Be careful. All right? Revenue. Okay, so Q2 revenue beat. 7 million beat 6 million. EPS of 49 cents beats 44 cents. All right, so they beat on the top and bottom line. That is the quarter. Now, let me see if there's guidance. Management, at least commentary. We're pleased to report record first half results with GAAP net income of 5.32 million. Okay. Let me see about guidance. Globally, continue to evolve in recent years. Anyway, I already put the targets on the morning note. So on the morning note, it said the targets for SPCB are, let's find them. I said if they beat, which they did, the targets are 1239 to 1370. So 1239 to 1370 are your targets on SPCB on this beat. Now they have conference call at 10 a.m. Maybe we'll try to listen to that. All right. So now rounding out the top five for today are going to be Wolf, Cypher, LEU, CCIR, and SPCB. Let me move SPCB above up there. Targets 1239 target, the first target, let me see, the second target, 1370. 1239 and 1370. Let's see here.
All right. And then CIFR target.
Hold on. I gotta put in some limit orders for SPCB during the day based on those targets. CIFR target for CIFR. Possibly 530. Let's go 530. We're
And
gonna predict. Yes, go ahead.
LEU, what was that one?
LEU. I don't really have a target on. Let's hope for 195 minimum. All right.
And then
Hoping for 195.
CCIR is 13 to 15.
Which one?
CCIR.
Oh yeah. But that would be more for, at this point it's delayed by a day, so it could be 13 to 15 by tomorrow morning. So like a overnight swing, for people who have the ability to sell that in pre-market. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you have a platform that lets you do that. All right. All right.
This guys, you're getting this right now.
Non-cap EPS of hold on. The gap. Hold on a second. Yeah, I saw a big number there. Non-gap. Holy crap. Non-gap. I might have to wait a second. I might be selling myself short on those targets. Hold on a second. Why is there such a big difference between gap and non-gap? Their non-gap is much, much bigger. Much bigger. Is there an explanation? No explanation. All right. You know what? I'm getting a little bit greedy. I'm like, do I really want to sell near that first target of 1239, or do I want to gun for higher? Let me see. Oh, freaking Fidelity canceled my order anyway. I always forget about that shit. If that I have to see. We may have to listen to that conference call at 10. Those are potentially crazy numbers. So anyway, Wolf, CFIR, LEU, and we're open. And see if you get a big dip in Wolf, I would buy that. Where's my SPCB? I'm gonna throw this at the top with those numbers. I'm ready in Wolf, but if we get a big dip, I'll get more. Maybe I'll get call options. We'll see. LEU spike, that's what we need. CCIR, more of an end of day thing. Okay, with the event FOMO into tomorrow. Okay, the LEU is working out. LEU call options, I should have thought of. That might be a thing. Now, Wolf on a big pullback, call options might be a thing on that. There goes Cypher. Oh, look, we have the best stocks right at the top. You know, let me move this one because we're going to be interviewing for CSLMF. Let me put that right under that. Oh, beautiful. What is Core doing out of curiosity? Oh, no, that was a good sell there. Okay, Core, and it'll probably rebound off of that. All right. All right, let me see if let me read this SPCB a little bit more here. But I can't. I want to look at Wolf. I don't know what to do. Should I research SPCB or should I try to trade Wolf? This is why I need someone to trade my account so I can focus on research. But all right, let's read SPCB. Numbers look mind-blowing, but all right, we're pleased to report record first half results with GAAP net income of $5.32 million. Oh, that's the first half, guys. No. Yes. Wait. I'm trying to understand. Q2 revenue, net income, non-GAAP EPS was 49 cents. No, that's correct. Non-GAAP was 49 cents. I had it right. Non-GAAP was 49 cents. $52. I mean, the stock is so cheap. It's trading, if you annualize that, $2. It's trading at like a 6 PE, and they're growing like super fast. It's pretty crazy. All right. You know what? I have my position. I have a limit order near the first target I gave you, and I'm going to be holding more for the second target. And let me turn my attention more to Wolf. Um, 687, 689. Do I want more? I think I do. Do I want call options? Not me, but maybe you guys do. All right, I'm getting more Wolf here. I was a little bit late. I should have done it earlier. Okay, now I'm in. It went to 674. All right, added more around 7. Okay. Oh crap! I still have.
Yeah, I added when you did, but I added calls. The $7.
Oh yeah, I knew you would.
So.
Oh shit! I'm still stuck in some surge. I tried selling this in pre-market. It's only a 0.5% position. Damn it. It sucks. 0.5% position is too much sometimes. All right. All right. So SPCB and Cypher working out. Wolf trying to get that to work out. LEU kind of stalling out. You know what? Like I'm getting.
I traded AMD as soon as.
Look at Rocket Lab. It was on our list. Ooh, it was on the list, and I totally forgot about this one. On the space. Damn, right. I forgot about it. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I was looking at that this morning.
Yeah, the space EO that was signed to ease restrictions on launches and reentry vehicles. Documented it and even gave you price targets, but I just totally forgot to cover it given all the other stuff that was going on, right? And I didn't get a position, so
it's all good.
Peloton, I'm keeping the call options. It's clawing back. I did sell the common shares at 865. Wow, look at that. Oh, VKTX is still on this major breakout, multi-week breakout over the 200-day moving average. Craziness. All right, I feel like I'm not giving enough attention to this SPCB. Let me try to dig into this a little bit more. Okay, first half, second quarter. Revenue was 7.14 million. Gross profit grew. Oh, interesting. Their margins and their profit expanded considerably. Gross margin expanded from 49% to 59%. Operating income increased 187% from 400,000 to 1.1 million. Operating margin tripled from 5% to 15%. Non-GAAP net income was 2.2 million compared to 3.3 million, which has or 1.5 million net financial gains. Like I said, I didn't count. So 2.2 versus 1.5. Non-GAAP EPS 49 cents. Book value of equity increased to 37 million from 13 million. And we have a market cap of 51 million. Cash and cash equivalents of 15 million versus that 51 million market cap. Let's see. I'm reading the commentary right now. Secured over 30 new contracts and entered 11 states.
All right, if you guys started buying on Wolf, I'm starting to trim here. I'm up 40%.
I knew you would. I knew you. I'm not like I'm not risky enough sometimes, or you know. But anyway, I got the common shares. Okay, let's see. So Wolf WULF. Where is it? I have a 10% position now. I'm up at least $5,000. I'm gonna sell a little bit here. I'm gonna sell a little bit of Wolf over here at 730. Which options did he get, by the way?
I got the 7s this
week.
Yep.
Beautiful. What price?
I paid around average around 43. It looks like
43, and now they're 55 by 60.
Yeah.
Very nice.
picked
All right.
up 3 different orders, so it's the mid price.
I kept some mu call options into today. Oh well. And then how's AMD doing? I sold all the AMD yesterday, but AMD is like every single day you can buy the dip in AMD every single day, or really buy the open in AMD every single day. Look at this. It's all.
You want to see my gains I had off AMD this morning?
Oh, you traded AMD this morning?
Yeah, instead of the indices, I traded AMD.
Oh well, you should have said.
I bought them at 40, 41, and I sold them at 52, 53.
Yeah, pretty much every morning.
Yeah. I know. I was watching the indices. I was like, AMD's gonna rocket with them, so might as well trade that.
UMAC reports after the close, so you can see event anticipation in that today. I sold BMNR this morning. TSSI.
Izzy just joined our community not too long ago. He's already crushing it on Wolf.
Yeah, he just joined. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Izzy, for joining our community there. Dude, I really think Wolf is, and SPCB did not hit my first target and it's pulling back. So they have a conference call at 10 a.m. I'm going to see if I can live stream that. Anyway, Wolf is probably where you should be focusing like pretty much the entire day, in my opinion. That's all you need to do. Does Wolf hit 8 today? I don't know for sure. I could just tell you what my targets are, which now you have a new resistance at 770. But the targets I gave when the stock was at 640 was 7. I was very, you saw. I went from 7 and I jumped all the way to 930. Now there's a lot of chop in here, but given the magnitude of the deal and the short position, I don't want to get too cute with calling all these resistance levels in between this candle at 7 and that candle at 930. I don't want to get too cute with that. I think there's a decent chance we work our way up to 9. That's a swing target, though. Not saying it happens today. Could take a couple days. Could take 2 or 3 days.
Someone's talking about Amazon. There's a huge move today.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't really trade Amazon. I own it, but I don't trade.
Yeah, look at that line.
Let me look at the indices. So what happened with the indices?
You're the ripping out.
It looks like today is I should have thought of this. It's reversing the outperformance of IWM. They're like, let's rotate back into big caps, and that, I should have thought about that for a second. But I don't really trade indices, but it makes sense, right? IWM substantially outperformed QQQ SPY last 2 days because of interest rate expectations. You reverse that, and now you're gonna get outperformed. Even if QQQ SPY stays red, you're gonna get outperformance compared to IWM. That was an easy thing to predict if I thought about it for 2 seconds, but I just don't really trade indices. And did I keep some BZAI? I tried selling in pre-market and I couldn't. And good. Maybe I got a little bit lucky. I can get a better exit. That BZAI has earnings tonight. My target was 398 for today. Who knows? I'm still in it. I couldn't sell in pre-market. So let's see if we get to our 398 target on BZAI. It's a nice sell up there. Got in at 7, sold some at 730. Let's see if we can get another dip buy on Wolf. Meanwhile, oh my God, my fingers are killing me. I see the SPCB pull back, so I gotta research a little more, make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so I'm gonna read this more carefully. The one thing that's like missing from this SPCB is guidance or forward-looking comments. That would have been nice to have. All they say is they had a great quarter, great, but all they say about the future is we're encouraged by the momentum across the U.S., Europe, and other regions, and we remain committed to disciplined execution and expanding our global footprint. Supported by strong financials and growing recurring relationships, we continue to advance our public safety mission and deliver value to our stakeholders. That's like the only guidance given. So if there's any disappointment, I wouldn't call it disappointment, but it would have been nice to have guidance. And the stock's down on this. I don't know.
Well, I
That's
sold AMD way too early.
That's ridiculous for the stock to be down on this, but oh well. We'll see what I'm not gonna stop loss out of this based on that. I don't do stop losses. I do story losses, story stops. I use story stops, not price stops. Unless I'm in a stock that I don't know and I don't understand, then I do price stops. So in any case, AMD, yeah, I sold all my AMD calls yesterday. Wow, look at that. Wow, up $5, 180 to 185. Well, how about Mew? Is Mew gonna do anything like that? Not really, huh? I should have gotten back into AMD calls. Jeez. Nice job there. We're seeing that rotation back into big caps today. Let's see if that's accelerating. And it is accelerating. QQQ is almost at break even, and IWM is continuing to go down. So not a surprise, reversing what's happened in the last 2 days. Wow. Well, I could have bought the dip again on Wolf. I didn't that time. CIFR doing good, but LEU not. Oops. Down on LEU. This is something I got to monitor. Core hit 87.61, close to the 200 DMA, not quite at 86.48. That may have been it. $1 away from the 200 DMA. That could have been the low. Rebounding up here at 91.50, no position. Wow, BMNR with the rebound. Let me move this out of the way. ONDS reversing, someone says. Quality company. I bought it for my retirement account. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. This is one you can buy the dips on. ONDS. We killed this. Last 2 days, I made a killing on ONDS. It's beautiful. Even through the volatility and the offering drop, because I bought the offering drop and it was just beautiful. I'm losing on LEU now. And on SPCB. Why is this stock not loved? I don't get it. I don't understand it. The 20 DMA at 982. We'll see if the conference call can reverse things. I just don't get it. Whoa! I don't get it. I really don't get it. Where's the support? Right there. 981. 20 DMA 981. Who the hell is selling this thing on those results? Am I missing something? What are their Discord saying? Let's see what other smart people are saying in our Discord on this. SPCB, strong ER, someone says. Top trade results, I'm getting ready for my calls. All right. I'm not selling, man. I'm not going to do it. It's too strong, and this company is too cheap, and we'll see if the conference call comments can get this to turn around. All right, we're going to play that at 10 a.m. if it's available on webcast. I'll have to see. All right, LEU coming back. CCIR looking good. BZAI, accidental holds in pre-market looking good. Well, it wasn't accidental. I had a price and didn't reach it, so I kept it. Wow, look at the comeback in BMNR. Wow. Right, I'm still thinking there's a lot of alpha left in Wolf today with 30% short in this deal with Google.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I'm holding the rest of mine at the moment, so.
I'm still thinking we're going to pass 770, get into the 8s and 9s maybe today. So definitely very disappointed in this SPCB right now, but I'm not going to sell it. Good. Ooh, look at CCIR with the event FOMO. Nice. I don't have a big position though. That's sad. I only have a 1.3% position. What kind of a wussy am I? 1.3%? Rhett, is that too little? Should I go to, I'm going to 1.5% at least. I'll buy the pop and go to 1.5%. All right, did that. SPCB. Damn it. Don't get it. I do not get that one. USAR is up 5%. There was some rare earth news yesterday, by the way, which I covered in the morning note. Palantir Citron coming out saying short it, overvalued. But I mean, 10,000 people could have made that argument over the last couple of years, and it keeps on going up. Yeah, rare earths doing well today on that. Wow, all the rare earths on the news. I put it in the morning note. Let me grab that for you here. In the politics, in the Trump section, Trump world, rare earths. U.S. Department of Energy, this is fresh from yesterday, announced new plans yesterday to issue nearly $1 billion in funding opportunities to scale mining, processing, and manufacturing technologies for critical minerals and materials. And this was after they gave us the hint because in the last couple of weeks, they said MP was not a one-off and there'll be further support for rare earth companies. So part of that came through yesterday. And you can see the space. Trump signs executive order to ease space industry regulations. That's why initially Rocket Lab, but I just forgot about it this morning. But it's documented here at least. So Rocket Lab, it said 46 possible target. But it is like a risk asset, which is why I kind of ignored it in pre-market. Where are we at on Rocket Lab? 46. I hit 45, but I did not play it. CIFR looking good. We gave you guys a $5.30 target on CIFR. I'm in this one. CIFR. Just a 3% position. Damn, I wish I had more. You know what? Wow. I'm selling. I'm just gonna try to trade around the core. I'm selling half of the CIFR here. Didn't get a great fill. 516. All right, I sold half of that. LEU's not working out. That's not good for me. Still in it. Did not sell it. This chart's terrible though. 50 DMA. We got to find support somewhere in here. Where the heck is support? What's this candle? This gap. 182.39. 182.39. Possible support. What's low day here? 178. What's high day there? 184. 178 to 182. Yesterday's low, 183. Hopefully that's support, man. I hate being in between these big moving averages, but yeah, I don't think LEU is going down to 125. But I won't be around to find out.
These stink today.
This is a day trade for me. And Rocket Lab surging now to new high of day. Man, the 46 target I had in pre-market. It looks like it's coming. Do we get credit for that? I don't know. It's in the document. I just totally forgot, right, to even look at it in pre-market.
I know, it slipped my mind.
I'm
all out Q calls.
CCIR is working. You're all out. Which? Oh, you're in the Qs.
Yeah, they were not moving very well. With that move, they should have been up way more. I was only up like 15%, so I bailed. And I didn't keep moving, but we just.
Just for clarification, we're not really about that in our community, but Rhett trades indices. Once in a blue moon, we're aligned and we collaborate on a little bit, but he'll call out.
And then we absolutely crush it. I remember the one day, remember that? It was like something 25. I think it was on the Qs, like 525. And I was like, yeah, I see that too.
Well, during the tariff crash, I was all over it. I was like, for 3 weeks in a row, I was like calling the levels like almost every single day. Exactly what I predicted was coming. It was like 10 days in a row. And it was like every single day it went right to my targets. It was crazy.
It was crazy.
But I really don't look at indices unless we're like in a major crash or something. And I'm pretty good with it when we are, but missed stop. It was in the pre-market note at 7 a.m. At 6:30 a.m. What was it at 6:30 a.m.? At 6:30 a.m., 43.63, called a 46 target for the day, and I didn't play it. The PPI I just forgot about it. Sucks. Here goes Wolf.
Yeah, I was gonna say, getting a nice move again.
Okay, Lou is jumping up. Cypher, CCIR looking good.
Like an ONDS. Someone say. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. Anyway, I killed it last 2 days on that, and I bought it for my retirement account. So, let's go back to top picks here. Let me throw this down here. CSLR. Okay. So what's going on here? This is no CSLRF. No, that doesn't make sense. It's only 24 cents. 1 second. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out. Why do they want to focus on the rights? You know, right?
Oh, let me see what he said. He said, "Where's what?" I'm trying to open WhatsApp.
All right, we're just doing a little homework on this interview we're doing.
Let's see.
I'm gonna ask him about it anyway.
Honestly, I don't know. He just said because the rest of them have extremely low volume at the moment. Man.
Oh, it's because of the liquidity. The rights have all the liquidity for some reason.
I'd assume, but I don't know. That's a question you may have to ask.
I'm gonna ask. I will ask. The CSL.
We're flying again on Wolf.
Hold on.
So
SLWF are the warrants. Okay, so let's add that to over there. Top picks, CS. Okay, so we have CSLR, CSLMF. Okay, then we have the rights and we have the warrants, and we have Wolf exploding. Okay, oh, I'm so pissed off that. Whatever. All right, I need to get look at this CCIR. Damn. That was a nice call. I need to see if we can get this conference call up for you guys. CSBA website. Austin Katos apparently going up. I own Katos in my long term. I think I got an upgrade this morning. TSSI below the offering price apparently. I'm not in it. Sold it yesterday. Oh, barely. Offering price is 17. That might be support. All right, let's get to. Oh my God, I'm late, man. I'm late. Supercom website. Supercom electronic monitoring, investors, investor relations, presentation.
I'm gonna sell a few more here.
738. I'm trying to find this. Q1 2025. Where is it? Where's Benzinga? Let me figure this out. I may have to play it from my phone. SPCB reports. Oh, here it is. Here's the webcast link. Oh, wait. No, error. This is the wrong one. August 14th. It says webcast link not available. Oh, no. There's an error with their web. Let me see if Quarter app has it.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if the Quarter app has it. Otherwise, I have to call on my phone, which I really don't want to do either, but maybe I might have to do that. Supercom. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'll just play from my. I'm just going to play from the Quarter app on my phone. So we'll see if they say anything that can help this SPCB that I bought this morning at a much higher price. All right. Let me make that quieter until they start. Ellie, you coming back? That's good news. Whatever happened to Core? It's hanging in there, BMNR. Quick.
AMD pulling back.
Which one?
AMD.
The
Huge. Wow, that's nasty. Huge reject off that level.
Man, I made so much money on AMD calls until the earnings report. And when the earnings report came out, I pieced out. I shouldn't have. I should just stayed on it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this has been
me and you both.
This is one of my biggest winners this year has been playing AMD calls. But I missed this whole move mostly, unfortunately. I didn't like the conference call, man. I went on that Lisa Su conference call there, and I was like, this doesn't sound superb. Celsius hits a 52-week high. After that, inflection earnings report. I think I added this to my retirement account. Please say I added. Please. Did I add it? I think I did after that report. Let me just check. Celsius. Yeah, baby. I added it. Oh, I'm only up 5% on it. Oh, it's just going up a little. Look, it's going up little by little by little. TEM up 5%. I also have that in my retirement account. Up 44% on TEM. Tempest AI. Wow. After the earnings report, Nancy Pelosi stock, I believe, keeps on going. That's looking good. All right. So, Cypher pullback. Oh, didn't I sell some Cypher earlier? I'm going to buy back. Yeah, baby. Where is it? Get to my freaking correct.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm
going
to grab the water.
Cypher. Come on. Stupid. I wish I could just buy stuff with my brain. I need the Neuralink. How much money I lose trying to press buttons? Jeez. All right. Now there's a little spot check on how my account's doing today. I mean, every day I always say I shoulda, coulda, would have done better because there's always room for execution improvement. I'm up very slightly, like 0.1% or something. But that's better than being down on a day when IWM's down 1%. But yeah, SPY Q is pretty much flat. So I got to do better to really outperform SPY today, and I think I will here with this Wolf position. The SPCB really hurting me. The LEU's coming back. Look at that ONDS. Wow. Oh, I should have kept it for another day. Oh well, that's okay. Can't be everywhere. It's 10 o'clock. Whoa, what is this? Wow, CNBC with a little hit job on Kodak. That's just a temporary going concern thing regarding the timing of monetizing the pension. Okay, it's not reacting badly to it today. Sorry, that background music. Okay, this is wow. Look at ONDS. Jeez Louise. What price did I get it in my retirement account? Let's see. ONDS. Hi. I'm down on it still. Damn. Because I got it before the offering. I bought it at $4.07 in my retirement account. After the earnings and before the offering. CCIR looking great. Wolf looking great. All right, so what we're going to do is go to these comments here. Yeah, ONDS is non-stop. Wolf is beautiful. What we're going to do is listen to this conference call that's about to start. Hope I have the time right. So let me see. Let me just check the press release one more time. Yeah, it's supposed they're just a couple minutes late. Oh, maybe they're fixing the web link that's broken. Yeah. Or maybe they put the wrong web link in the PR and they're going to issue a new press release with the correct web link. I don't know. but they may be having a little problem with that. So anyway, Quarter App has it. So we're going to listen to this, and then at 10:30 a.m. we're going to interview the CEOs, right? We're interviewing both the SPAC sponsor and the CEO of the target, right? Both of them are going to be on. Brett, hello. I believe. That'll be 10:30.
Hey, I just got back to my desk. What were you saying?
There's going to be the 10:30 interview. We're interviewing both the SPAC sponsor CEO and the target company CEO, right?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Both of them. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so they both are going to be on the call.
All right. So, okay, we'll do that at 10:30, and we'll listen to this here at 10, see if we can get a rebound in Supercom.
Man, this wolf is looking great, man.
Yeah, you know, I don't think I'm... Let me check my position size now.
Number one pick of the day.
I'm only at an 8% allocation. I mean, look. If we get like the thing is, we're not seeing big red spikes down. The only one was right at the first couple candles. Like I don't think I want to add to this 8% unless we get like a spike down to 7 again. Then maybe I'll add. And I don't want to sell either. I think there's a good chance we head to my target. So I'm just gonna hang tight. All right. So the Cypher dip buy was nice, dude. The CCIR. Oh my God, ONDS. But damn, ONDS. Woo. All right, whatever. I made enough money on it yesterday. The CCIR looks like it's in play, guys. This broke out today. Broke out of resistance. I think this thing can go much higher. Options. Let's see. 1250. I'm just gonna stick with common shares. I'm sticking with common shares on CCIR. Look at this ONDS. Jeez Louise. Right?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Is it crazy to add more CCIR at high of day?
Let me look.
I'm buying more.
CCIR.
This is the one changing to Kiev tomorrow morning, the same freaking day that Trump is meeting with Putin. I'm buying more. The timing couldn't be any better.
It looks like it's gonna fly to 13.
Oh, my target was 13 to 15, I think, right?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. CCIR. Okay, look at this thing go. I guess I should. In retrospect, I should have done call options. All right. So let's see. 13 to 15, I said, huh? Okay.
I just sold a little more of those calls.
Dude, I have a feeling this SPCB's being delayed because their web link is not working. Let's see if the...
Hey, what did that IPO yesterday feel bullish? What's that doing today?
Bullish is up 22%.
Yeah, right
I bought it last night after hours, but I just got shaken. I didn't hold it. I made like $25 and I left. I don't know. I don't like doing these overvalued IPO things. It's just not my thing to do. But anyway. LEU's looking good. CCIR, baby. Oh, yeah. Nice.
I sold up there.
Oh, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Supercom's second quarter 2025 financial results and corporate update conference call. At this time, all participants are on a listen-only mode.
Is that coming through clearly?
Yeah, I can hear it. I'm going to go on mute.
Pressing the star key followed by 0. After today's presentation, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. To ask a question, you may press star, then 1 on your telephone keypad. To withdraw your question, please press star, then 2. Participants of this call are advised that the audio of this conference call is being broadcast live over the internet and is also being recorded for playback purposes. Joining me from Supercom's leadership team is Ordon Trabelsi, Supercom's President and Chief Executive Officer. I'd like to remind you that during this call, Supercom management may be making forward-looking statements, including statements that address Supercom's expectations for future performance or operational results. Forward-looking statements involve risks, uncertainties, and other factors that may cause Supercom's actual results to differ materially from those statements. For more information about these risks, uncertainties, and factors, please refer to the risk factors described in Supercom's most recently filed periodic reports on Form 20-F and Form 6-K, and Supercom's press release that accompanies this call, particularly the cautionary statements in it. Today's conference call includes EBITDA, a non-GAAP financial measure that Supercom believes can be useful in evaluating its performance. Isolation or as a substitute for results prepared in accordance with GAAP. For reconciliation of this non-GAAP financial measure to net loss, a comparable GAAP financial measure, please see the reconciliation table located on Supercom's earnings press release that accompanies this call. Regulations for other non-GAAP financial measures and comparable GAAP financial measures are available there as well. The content of this call contains time-sensitive information that is accurate only as of today, August 14th, 2025. Except as required by law, Supercom disclaims any obligation to publicly update or revise any information to reflect events or circumstances that occur after this call. It is now my pleasure to turn the call over to Supercom's President and CEO, Ordon Trabelsi.
Hello.
Thank you, operator.
There it is.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Earlier this morning, we released our financial results for the second quarter and first half ended June 30, 2025. You can find a copy of the press release in the investor relations section of our website at supercom.com. Today, I'll walk through our financial and operational highlights for the first quarter and first half year of 2025, as well as recent business developments and strategic progress. We'll then open the call for a Q&A session. We delivered another strong quarter, marked by continued margin expansion and growth in operating profitability. Our gross margin expanded year over year to 59.1%, and operating income nearly tripled to $1.1 million. First half 2025 GAAP net income reached $5.3 million, marking an approximate 80% increase from our prior year period, a new first half record for the company. However, it's important to remember that we are talking and working with numerous governments around the world to drive transformative changes in public safety infrastructure. These efforts, often national scale, take time, coordination, and are structured as long-term, multi-year contracts. As a result, individual quarters may not fully reflect the long-term trajectory of our business,
Peloton
which
spike.
is shaped by the cumulative effect
I'm
of
still in
many
these
projects
calls.
advancing in parallel. For example, this quarter's gross margin of 59% is above our recent average. Future
See if
quarters,
there's news on
margin will
Peloton.
fluctuate depending on the project mix. But we believe our long-term margin potential is even higher, given operating leverage, economies of scale, and other elements of our expansion. I try to give a high-level view for those of you to understand our goals, our progress, and what levers to track to understand that progress. At Supercom, our mission remains clear: to revolutionize public safety through cutting-edge electronic monitoring technology and data-driven solutions. For over 3 decades, we have partnered with dozens of national governments across the globe to deliver secure, scalable, and innovative platforms that enhance security for the country. Our focus in recent years has increasingly shifted towards criminal justice and offender electronic monitoring solutions. Our strategy is centered around 3 pillars. First, innovative technology. We invested over $45 million in our technology platform, and our proprietary solutions consistently outperform in competitive tenders, particularly in Europe, where we've had a win rate of over 65% in competitive RFPs. Our platform supports critical programs such as GPS tracking, house arrest, and domestic violence prevention. Recently, we've integrated AI-driven analytics to enhance predictive insights and client outcomes, and we'll have more information about that in the near future. Second pillar is expand our global presence. Our global presence is significant and expanding rapidly, with more and more geographies adopting electronic monitoring technology. Our strategic focus is on the electronic monitoring market, where we see growing demand and where the market is projected to reach $2.3 billion by 2028. Estimates show the U.S. and Europe account for 95% of this market. And the third pillar is to deliver outstanding service. Our reputation as a trusted partner grows with each new deployment. Some of our government customers have been with us for more than 20 years, often starting with a single program and expanding into multiple solutions over time. Since 2018, we've secured over 70 multi-year government projects across multiple regions. In the past year, we've experienced accelerated expansion, whereby we added over 30 new contracts across North America, alongside 9 strategic partnerships with leading regional service providers in the U.S. We continue to amplify our technological leadership with significant R&D investments, leading to the launch of advanced solutions like Pure Protect, also branded as Pure Shield, our domestic violence prevention solution, and Pure One. These offerings are making headway in various markets, including the U.S., and are pivotal in SuperCom's expansion. Pure Protect or Pure Shield is a life-saving domestic violence monitoring solution, providing preventive measures to families suffering from domestic violence or stalking, thereby increasing their safety. Pure One is an all-in-one GPS ankle bracelet monitoring solution, integrating comprehensive monitoring capabilities into a single device. Like many of our products, it offers top-notch features in most metrics. Our tethered ankle bracelet technology, together with our cloud-based software-enabled Pure Security product line, has been particularly effective in continuously monitoring offenders and managing.
No, I have enough. I'm at my max allocation for what I want on this today.
And timely intervention to mitigate potential risks and enhance public safety. Our technology,
which is just 3%. I'm good at 3%.
Industry standards. We consistently displace long-standing incumbents, such as a 24-year incumbent EM provider in Sweden and a nearly 20-year incumbent EM provider in Israel. In both cases, our technology, agility, and innovation provided decisive and competitive tenders. We've also helped governments establish their first ever national electronic monitoring programs, as seen in countries such as Romania, where we're supporting a program of up to 15,000 simultaneously monitored individuals, and Croatia, where we selected to lead the country's first step into modern electronic supervision. These wins underscore the adaptability of our platform and the growing demand for comprehensive EM solutions around the world. Our continued investment in product innovation is driving measurable market expansion. Successful adoption of our Pure One and Pure Protect has expanded our addressable market, supporting deeper penetration into existing geographies and entry into new ones, particularly in the U.S. and Europe. We've also reinforced our operational infrastructure and enhanced our go-to-market approach. Our sales team, composed of industry veterans, has played a key role in securing wins and building our pipeline. In the fourth quarter, together with our partner Electro Security, we secured a multi-year national contract with Israel Prison Service to deploy our Pure Security suite. The program encompasses all offender monitoring nationwide, and this win followed a rigorous competitive process and replaced a provider that held the contract for nearly 2 decades, underscoring our technological advantage and proven execution capabilities. As of today, over 1,500 units of SuperCom's Pure Security suite have been delivered under this program, reflecting recent growth with opportunity for more growth remaining. I remind this program encompasses all offender monitoring in Israel. So as more programs add more units, growth will continue. More broadly, we continue to gain momentum in competitive tenders across Europe and the U.S., often displacing incumbents. Our strong track record and reliable delivery remain core to our growth. We view every redeployment as the start of a long-term relationship. By planting seeds in multiple regions and consistently delivering value, we've seen customers deepen their engagement with us over time, often evolving into multiple long-term projects. In Europe, our strategic execution continues to drive long-term growth. Over the past few years, we've secured over 15 national electronic monitoring project wins through competitive tenders, including large-scale domestic violence initiatives aligned with regional public safety priorities. Notably, In Romania, we were awarded the largest industry award of 2022 in Europe, over a $33 million program covering up to 15,000 individuals simultaneously. This program remains active and demonstrates the scalability of our security platform. Another great example of our long-term expansion strategy, which reflects the strength of our reputation, is Sweden. Since our initial award from the Ministry of Justice in 2019, we've been selected again and again by Swedish government agencies, including the Swedish Police Authority and Juvenile Justice System. This ongoing trust reflects our consistent delivery and high level of satisfaction with our technology and support. We also expanded in Finland with a national deployment of our domestic violence solution and recently launched our third national project in Latvia, ordered by a formal tender to support the state police with offender compliance and victim protection. Earlier this year, we announced our seventh national domestic violence monitoring program, further expanding our presence in the EMEA region and signaling to our leadership in domestic violence monitoring solutions. In parallel, we continue to actively run programs in other European countries such as Denmark and Bulgaria, and continue to receive follow-on
Okay,
orders from existing
Peloton
European
was up
partners.
because of
These
news.
follow-ons highlight the reliability
I'm putting
of
it
our
in the
technology
Discord.
and the strength of our relationships. As governments increasingly adopt proactive monitoring policies, we believe our proven model positions us well for sustained success in the region. While Europe remains an important growth driver, the U.S. market presents an even greater long-term opportunity. Projected to grow to 6 times the size of European
AI
market
product
in the coming
updates is
years.
what that
With the
Peloton
launch of
spike
Tier
was
1
about.
and our domestic violence solutions, we believe Supercom is well positioned.
Really, what I wanted to listen to. I'm listening to this call because I want to know about guidance. There was no guidance on the press release, so maybe they'll have guidance on the call. That's really why I'm listening. If it's not in their prepared comments, and analysts might ask about it, if they even have any analyst coverage here.
In June, LCA was awarded a re-entry services contract.
And given the fact that it's 10:19 a.m. and we're starting our other event at 10:30, I think what I'll do is I'm going to pause this when we have to go. I'm going to do it on the Quarter app, and then we'll resume it after information about guidance. That could hopefully help the stock go up.
And to 11 new states and establish 9 strategic partnerships with regional partner providers to accelerate market access.
Wolf is looking great.
In the second quarter, we expanded into Tennessee.
Look at this. Look at
Virginia,
that.
and
Wow.
Nebraska.
Get rid of the extended hours data, and it's much a clearer
The only
picture.
new EM provider
Oh, yeah. This thing's about to go.
vehicle in North Carolina.
Wolf is about to go,
Enabling
guys.
access to countries across the state.
There it is. New high of day.
We also signed a new agreement with the Southeastern Service Provider to introduce our EM technology in Florida and Mississippi, adding 2 additional growth markets for our platform. These milestones
CSLRF is
add
going.
to the
13 is my first target.
Kentucky, Alabama, South Dakota,
13 to
Arizona, Ohio,
15.
and others. We are already actively expanding into Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan.
Man, if it breaks 1335, then yeah. Then I can go towards my next target. I really don't care about what they're talking about right now. I'm just waiting for guidance. So I'm going to lower the volume until I hear them address guidance.
Our expanded sales organization has driven.
Ben, how come you're not talking about Wolf right now? Things exploding.
I just did. You didn't hear me?
No, I didn't.
I just predict. I was looking at the 1 minute. I said it like 5 seconds before it exploded. I said it's about to explode.
Well, I got a call coming in. Let me take this.
Yeah, I called it at like $7.45. I'm like, this thing's about to go. Just popped 20 cents like 3 seconds after I said it.
Allowing us to efficiently support nationwide deployments. This structure significantly improves operational efficiency and lowers costs compared to Europe.
And the reason I'm not like so obsessed with it is because I'm very calm about it. Like I'm very high confidence it's gonna go where it's going. So I'm just like holding it. I'm not like trying to trade every blip. Which means I should probably be in call options, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, my call options are up 93%.
Yeah.
97.
Yeah. You know, like I have this thing that I can improve on. When I know a stock is going to go up, I tend to not do the call options because I'm like, well, I don't need call options. Like I could just like sit in common shares all day and not sweat about it. But it's like the opposite. When I have like high confidence, I should do the call options, but like I do the call options when it's more speculative. I'm like, maybe it'll explode, maybe it won't. Let me take a risk. I'm like, yeah, I gotta work on that. Like, what do I need call options for? I just like buy a 10% stake and sit in it all day. Oh well, whatever. It'll help me get green today. pre-market high 770. You break that, and then you take your next leg higher towards their high. You can see the resistance on level 2. Some big sell orders, and it broke it. Oh, here we go, baby. What was my next target? My $9.
I think it was 930, I believe.
There you go. That's why I'm not selling. I'm not playing games. Just gonna hold.
Yeah, I
this.
guess I'm down to a 10% position. I've been shaving on the way up, so we'll see how well.
I have not shaved.
All right. We have 7 minutes till the interview.
Oh well, Peloton pop and drop. I wish I had a limit order on my options there. It went into the green briefly, and I didn't have a limit. There we go, Wolf.
I have the banner ready to go for to switch here in a second.
Yeah.
Our operating margin also more than doubled to 16.2% during the period, reflecting the strength of our operating model and ongoing transition into higher margin contracts and revenue mix.
Look at this wolf. This is beautiful. Why didn't I do call options, man? Let's see. I'm up. I'll tell you why I didn't do calls, because I'm up over eight grand on it today, just with common shares. Like, what do I need options for? I guess I need options if I'm greedy. I should be more greedy sometimes. Look at this ONDS. Wow, that is crazy.
Each morning.
390. Jeez. And the RSI is not as overbought as it was over there. 395 next target. Wow. All right, whatever. Not going to have FOMO. We're just going to focus on our topic of the day here, Wolf. Yeah, 5 minutes. Let's see if we can get anything out of this conference call for the next 5 minutes.
This significant improvement in operating margin reflects not only our shift to higher margin projects, but also the result of management's continued efforts to operation and drive better efficiencies across the business and different projects. Net income for the quarter was $1.1 million compared to $2.2 million in the same quarter last year, which included approximately $1.8 million in non-recurring financial income that did not repeat in the same fashion. Non-GAAP net income was $2.2 million compared to, and non-GAAP EPS was 49 cents compared to 1.81 in the period also, which entailed $1.8 million of financial gains, which did not recur in this quarter. EBITDA increased by 56%, reaching $2.5 million this quarter, up from $1.6 million in Q2 of last year, marking our 12th consecutive quarter of positive EBITDA and further demonstrating the resilience of our operating model. From a balance sheet perspective, we ended the quarter with a strong position. Cash and cash equivalents totaled $15 million, up from $5.7 million at the end of Q2 2024, reflecting improved cash generation and financing ability. Working capital improved to $40.8 million, and book value of equity rose to $37.3 million, each up significantly from $26.1 million and $13.8 million, respectively.
We're trying to figure that out. We're listening to the conference call now.
Cash management, capital raises, and proactive debt structuring, along with the improved operation capabilities.
Why the strong negative reaction to SPCB? We don't know yet. I'm waiting for see if they have guidance on the conference call.
In closing, I want to thank our global team for the continued.
We're not gonna have much time. All right. So what we're gonna have to do?
2025 with strong momentum, delivering record financial results, accelerating expansion in key markets, and further validating the effectiveness of our solutions. As governments seek smarter, more humane, and cost-effective alternatives to incarceration, SuperCom is uniquely positioned to lead. Our proven technology, growing contract base, and scalable infrastructure provide us with a strong foundation to continue our growth across the U.S., Europe, and beyond. We encourage stakeholders to track key indicators in our business, such as our win rate and competitive tenders, expansion into new geographies, and new projects from existing customers. Another important thing to remember is the project mix. This quarter, gross margin reached 59.1%, reflecting the increased contribution of high margin revenues, while not yet steady state offers a glimpse into our profitability potential. Where projects tend to achieve higher margins over time as they mature and grow, and economies of scale together with operating leverage are utilized. We remain focused on advancing public safety, creating long-term value, and building on the consistent progress we've achieved in recent years. And with that, I'll turn the call over to the operator to open for questions.
All right, I'm going to pause it there. We'll have to listen to the questions on the back half of the interview we're about to do here with CSLM Acquisition Corp. So I'm going to start that in 3 minutes. I just throw these tickers to the top. And we're going to ask about these tickers so you can get clarity what's going on here. We got 3 tickers. Where are they? Okay, it's this one. And then this one. Okay. So these are the 3 tickers. We got the common shares, the rights, and the warrants. And the issue is there's no volume on it, so we're going to figure this out. If we love the story, maybe we'll create the volume. There is some volume on the rights, however, CSLRF. All right, so we'll get started in just like 2 minutes. I think that's going to be our first question, is just about the structure and all these tickers and what's going on with that and the timeline and everything. And then we're going to have both the CEO of the SPAC sponsor on, CSLM Acquisition Corp, which is Charlie Castle. And we're also going to have the CEO of the target company Fusemachines on, Samir Maski. All right, we're going to start that at exactly 10:30. In the meantime, you can see our number 1 pick of the day, up 42%, 782. And somebody even asked me in the top trades room, Ben, are you going to do options? I'm like, yep, I'm thinking about it. At the open, I didn't do it.
All right, you want me to kick this off, the countdown, then intro, and then we'll get started?
Okay, yeah, kick the countdown off. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. On my Wolf, I have an 8% common share position. That's it. Man, I should have done more. Let's go. Let's hit it.
All righty.
All right. Good morning, guys. We got Charlie Castle and Samir Maski here. We're interviewing about the CSLM Acquisition Corp. Charlie Castle there is from CSLM, and then Fusemachines. Samir, founder and CEO of Fusemachines. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good morning.
Samir, you're on mute, actually. Let's get that taken care of.
There you go.
Perfect.
Good
All
morning.
right. Awesome. Happy you guys are here. So looks like there could be an interesting situation here. We'll see. I'm going to start mostly with questions for Charlie, just to understand the structure and the timing and everything of this SPAC. The first thing I notice is you got like 3 ticker symbols, CSLMF, which appear to be the common shares, CSLRF, which is the rights, and CSLWF, which are the warrants. And my first question, I don't know if you can answer me right off the bat, is usually in these SPAC deals prior to the deal closing, you're like sitting there at like near the redemption price of, I don't know what it is in your case, like $10, $10.50, whatever it is. And here it's like $2.60. It's gone down like $7 on 1,000 shares of volume in 4 days or something.
Right.
What's going on there? Can you explain this to us?
Yeah, so the deal's already been approved at the EGM. The redemptions have passed. They've already been processed.
So that happened like 3 days ago, I guess. Something like
that happened on the 28th of July.
Okay, I see.
So you've had the rights which have been trading like not very well, that have been stuck around 25 cents or so, and I think you've seen a broad conversion of the bid towards the rights prices, but the offer is, last I looked at it, was $3 or $4 higher. So, and like you pointed out, it's on 1,000 shares. I think the other day 1 share traded. So I think it's not irrational, but it's also not meaningful.
So the rights give you access to what? If you have 1 right, that means what?
It's a 10-to-1 conversion, so you need 10 rights to convert to 1 share at closing.
Interesting. Okay.
So
And
those are the ones that I think are still not pricing in the lack of deal risk at this stage.
okay.
You've got a lot of companies, little Chinese companies that have no deal in place that are trading at 25 cents. So it's or Chinese sponsors, I should say. So I don't think it's really a reflection of what the quality of the transaction is. I think it's just the fact that this is a very tight deal that we are completely funding. There's no outside capital that's going to be coming into it, and nobody really knows the story yet. So I think that's where the opportunity is.
Okay, but you said the merger vote already happened. The redemption period is already passed. So when does the ticker symbol change to Fuse?
So we're going through the NASDAQ uplift application right at the moment. So we're anticipating, and there's no guarantee of this, it's all up to NASDAQ and how quickly this gets processed, but we're anticipating it's in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. Is there a reason for that delay? I noticed you have an F hanging on here at the end of the ticker symbol. Like, because usually I see these ticker symbols change like a day or two after the vote. Why is this taking longer?
So we got the fund, or the SPAC went down to OTC back in January when it hit its 3-year period. So we've been working on getting all the financials cleaned up and the S4s cleaned up and SEC approval for the last few months, and it's been trading on the OTC since then. So really, that's a reflection of what it's been since January. And when it gets uplifted back to NASDAQ in a few weeks, that's when it'll go back to having a new ticker with Fuse.
I got it. Okay, so in a few weeks, we'll drop the F and it'll just be FUSE,
yep.
Right? And then these warrants will give you, the rights. So, according to, so 10 of them give you 1 share, right?
Right, correct.
Could be a very interesting situation. Let's find out a little bit more. So before I get to Samir, so what can you tell us about after the redemption period, like what the shares outstanding and the cash balance is now for the company, for Fuse? What are they going to have in terms of outstanding shares and cash balance?
That was the question to me or Charlie?
Oh, I was asking Charlie, but Ms. Samir, I guess can answer that one.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, so I can answer that question. There'll be approximately 26 million shares outstanding after the transaction happens. There'll be 20 million rollover shares that put into go into the company or the previous shareholders of the company. You'll end up with about 4.7, something like that, on that were related to the sponsor, and 1.9 million rights.
Sorry, so what's that translate into for total outstanding? I'm just trying to calculate what the valuation is at here at $2.
Yeah, it'll be about 26.5 million shares total.
26.5 million total. All right, and I missed the cash balance again.
Pro forma, he should end up with a cash balance of about $8 million, something like that.
8 million. Okay, so then we're talking about at 256. If you can get it at 256, maybe it won't be able to. I don't know with that spread. That's why I understand now why you're talking about the rights offer maybe a better situation. So 26 million, you're about 67 million valuation, 8 million cash. Got it. All right. So that's the situation. We're talking about Fuse, going to be Fuse in a couple weeks, coming in at a 67 million valuation, which you can actually get via the rights. It's hard to get. You can't get it through the common shares. Now I get it. But if you buy those rights at 25 cents, you're basically buying Fuse at a 67 million valuation. I got that whole story. Everything's approved. Just waiting for NASDAQ 2 weeks from now, and you're trading under Fuse. Anything I missed there from a structural point of view, Charlie?
I don't think so. I think it's just probably important to note that this transaction is being funded pretty much internally by my firm, not pretty much, entirely by my firm. So we haven't gone to outside capital. So you don't really have what I would describe as a third-party benchmark on valuation at this stage, other than what the market is reflecting. And I don't think the market is reflecting anything that's really anything other than technical at this point.
Okay. And actually, before I go to Samir, you just mentioned valuation. I would love your perspective on valuation, like why, how you came to this, the 200 million implied equity value when the deal was made, and now it's 67 million. What you think of that? Is that the right price at this point, or was it 200 million? So talk to me about valuation, how you arrived at these numbers, and what you think it should be valued at. I'm sorry, Samir. I'll get to you. I promise, Samir. Okay, go ahead, Charlie.
Sure. I think some of this I got to be slightly careful of on MNPI, but effectively, we are professional fund managers. We're a boutique investment management shop that runs institutional money for long only equity in emerging markets. And Samir is a U.S. company, but has some origin in Nepal. So that's why it generally fits for our funds. We went into this wanting to disintermediate the IPO market in some of the stock markets that we operate in the sense that in the Blackstones of the world, the big investment managers get the IPO allocations, and even though we're dedicated, we've been kind of lost in the woods sometimes. So we thought we had a chance of being early and helping guide a company through the capital markets process. And Samir's company is effectively, in our opinion, a bet on the founder, the growth potential, and the market itself from a macro standpoint for AI products and services. So it's a small company. It's micro caps always end up with pricey forward-looking PE ratios. But we think that he's going to grow into his valuation very quickly once this deal is finished. The opportunity set is enormous for AI right now. You've got a macro tailwind that the big beautiful bill has created an environment where you've got some better predefined rules in the AI space. Samir's company is not in the generative LLM AI space, which is eating up gobs of capital. He can turn this on very quickly now that he's got a public listing or on the verge of getting a public listing, and he's got fantastic growth potential. And so we saw it as an opportunity to get in at a very cheap level. As a sponsor, we put committed capital in place for him since we signed the deal. And our view of valuation is that you've got a multiple on the upside, and we put a $200 million valuation on there. Is that what it's worth today? I think the market can be the judge of that. But I think the opportunity for him to grow well in excess of that in the next couple of years is solidly in place, and the foundations are there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Charlie, for that. And stick around when I come back to you. Let's head on over to Samir Maskey, founder and CEO of. A disclaimer, as all of our interviews with CEOs, it is a paid sponsor position, and I do not currently have any of these shares, and I don't limit myself to not being able to trade. I've interviewed a lot of CEOs, and I often own the stock, and sometimes they'll buy it even during the interview. All right, so we'll see. If I do that, I'll make sure to make that disclaimer. All right, Samir, let me just I have a little before you start, just to set you up. It says Fusemachines builds enterprise AI software and services, including AI studio tools, engines, and implementation services aimed at automating workflows and augmenting decision-making for large corporate clients. They operate a products and solutions model rather than pure AI staffing, with offerings designed for faster adoption and scaling. Okay, now what I want to talk about before we get into your product and why you think you might succeed there, I want to hear about you, Samir. Tell us when you started this company, just how it started, why you started it, where you're located, kind of like the logistics in the background before we get into anything about the product. I just want to hear the logistical information about the company right now.
Sure. So I started the company in 2013, in the beginning of 2013. And by then, when I started, I already had been in the AI space for, not like 12 years or so. So
Wow.
I've been doing AI for almost 25 years. I built first Nepali to English speech-to-speech translation system in 2000 when I was undergrad, built Nepali speech synthesizers, released as an open source. Been doing AI for many, many years. And, the world had changed before. When we go to AI conferences, it was just PhDs and researchers like us, but now it has become different. So a lot of background on AI, and after getting a PhD at Columbia University in AI, went and worked at IBM Watson, where I was part of the research staff. Then left all that and started.
Hey, did you work on any Weather Channel stuff over there?
No,
That's where I've seen Watson. That's whether you open the weather app, it says powered by IBM Watson. That's all I know.
There I was working on deep question answering systems and speech-to-speech translation systems. And then left all that to start Fusemachines, and also started teaching at Columbia various courses such as deep learning, generative AI, and so forth. And in the beginning of 2013, when I started, it was the view that there's a lot of research that's done in AI, and many of it has been sitting in the labs. I had a deep expertise in AI, particularly natural language processing. So based on all the learnings I've had, what can I take it to the market and build a product based on the skills I have? And that's how the company got started. And our first product line was a customer service automation platform that we launched for customer service.
And where are you located?
So we're located in New York. We are
really? New York? Where in New York?
So we are near Penn Station.
Are you kidding? Wow. I'm from New York. I used to live right near Penn Station for a while.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy. 43rd and 9th, right by the Lincoln Tunnel entrance.
Okay. Yeah, we are right now on 30th Street.
Where are you?
We are on 30th Street.
30th
yes.
Street. Okay. And is that where you've been since 2013?
No. Obviously, in the very beginning, it was when I founded the company, there was no other employees, right? So,
okay.
Unlike and in Manhattan, there are no garages, so it's in the apartment. So that's how it got started. And then as I hired people, we rented an office, and we've moved around the office quite a bit from Midtown to Soho area and so forth.
But it's always been in Manhattan.
It's always been in Manhattan.
Okay. And how many employees do you have now?
So in total, we globally, so we are headquartered in New York. We have a big presence in Nepal. So I grew up in Nepal and came here in college and scholarship.
Okay.
So we have a connection with Nepal where I grew up, and we have a big presence in Nepal with about 300 employees there or so.
You have 300 employees in Nepal?
Yes, we do.
Wow.
A lot of them AI engineers. So basically, one of the big assets we have, what I would like to say is, right now with all the talent in WAR, we've had almost a secret sauce of running AI fellowship programs in underserved communities like Nepal, Latin America, where we have trained up a lot of AI engineers to whom we provide almost a 1 year of training and get them ready for being able to implement extremely complex AI systems. So we have a big presence in Nepal with 200 plus engineers. We have engineers in Latin America as well, 50 plus engineers.
What kind of staff do you have in Manhattan?
About 30 or so in North America. Yeah.
So it's a pretty nice sized little company here. How have you been funding all this since Charlie came in your life? In fact, you don't get his money yet, right? Do you get the money? When do you get his money? Did he get the money?
Charlie, you can go. Yeah.
He's gotten some of it. He'll get a big chunk at closing again.
Okay, great. So how have you? Well, didn't the deal close? We're just waiting for the uplisting, or no? There's still a close.
It technically will close when the uplift happens. I mean, that's when the deal actually happens, but
Okay.
it's been approved. All the shareholder votes
I
are
got
done.
it. It's just being delayed because you got to uplist to NASDAQ until it's
Yep.
got it. Okay, so
Exactly.
how have you been funding this? You've been doing, 12 years in business, 330 employees. It sounds like maybe more, I don't know, but between New York and Nepal at least. So how are you funding this until now?
So in the very beginning, we had some angel investors, right, in 2013. Then we did a seed round, and then we did a couple of seed rounds with venture capital firms and private equity funds. We've always been extremely capital efficient, where the growth has been fueling the further growth, where the revenue has been fueling the growth. So yeah, we've raised a bunch of rounds over the last 10 years, but not a lot.
Okay, and what's the when did he start recognizing revenue? What you started in 2013? How long did it take till you got your first dollars in?
The first dollar was in 2013 itself. Our first
Oh, wow.
deployment, the customer service
That was quick.
automation, was with New York City government right off
Oh,
the bat.
beautiful.
But coming from academia and as being a first-time founder, I had to learn how hard enterprise sales is,
Mhm.
and now I have. And over the last 4 or 5 years, that's when most of the growth happened.
Okay.
With a very strong trajectory for growth, which I believe is gonna go further. The growth rate will get even higher with all the capital that Charlie is about to provide to us.
And what can you tell me about the revenue growth rate? What are you at now? What's the most recently reported revenue number?
So 2024 was $8.8 million of recognized revenue, which was about 18% growth from 2023. And over the last couple of years, especially, we have spent a significant amount of resources and money on trying to improve the product, which is the AI Studio, which allows us to build industry-specific, problem-specific solutions.
I'm taking notes because it's very interesting to me. But in 2020, you said the growth rate over 2023 was how much?
18%.
18%. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
And that's when that's without a lot of capital to use on sales and marketing, right? We haven't had a lot of capital on sales to spend on sales and marketing yet. Plus, we were also improving the product line, particularly AI Studio and AI engines over the last 2-3 years. Now we are at this inflection point where we have a product market fit. The product has matured enough where some of the enterprises are looking to buy more than one engine, and the capital is about to come in. So with that combination of fuel with the product maturity, we expect a lot higher growth than 18% growth.
Okay. And have you reported anything in 2025? Any quarterly reports since that 8.8 million in 2024 that you talked about?
Yeah, we reported a Q1 numbers.
Okay. What was that like?
Q1 numbers, and Q1 to Q1 from 2024 to 2025, the growth was about 6%, I believe.
Okay. And what was that? The total
It
revenue?
was just the quarterly revenue was. I have to look up the numbers, but about $2 million.
About $2 million. Okay, that makes sense. All right. And then when do you report the Q2 number?
Soon. I think when we.
You're gonna wait for the Fuse ticker first?
Yeah, when the ticker changes, we have to file the Super 8K. I think that's where the.
I think that makes sense. If I'm allowed to advise, if you're allowed to wait that long, I think it makes sense because not just realistically speaking, you're not going to get a ton of traction with the stock until you're uplisted. But I'm happy we're having this conversation now because there could be a lot of opportunity there for those rights that you were talking about, the CSLRF. That definitely sounds interesting. But so basically, we're talking about in a couple of weeks, we're going to go to Fuse. We're going to get your Q2 numbers. That's going to be great. And then I'm not forecasting it's going to be great. It's great that you're going to report that. All right. And then I wanted to ask you this. Yes. How much revenue do you need to get to break even?
About additional 2 million to 3 million a year.
You only need to grow just enough, like at $12 million annual revenue, you'll be a break even.
So if we are just looking at the operational, without talking about any numbers that's not disclosed on the financials. I would say from a overall operational expense side, we are, I would say a little more, I guess 4 or 5 million, depending on if you look at EBITDA versus adjusted EBITDA.
Okay. I guess what I'm asking, Charlie.
Smear's being a little bit conservative on this, but he has burned very little money. He's been burning $2.5 million a year, plus or minus $3 million a year in real operational expenses.
So
that's it.
Okay, I mean that's pretty impressive. Is that the same number you're talking about? Maybe another 3 or 4 million in terms of cash flow. What I'm getting at, and Charlie, you can appreciate this. And look, we've had some very successful engagements with a couple companies with microcaps looking to get their story out there. And the key to getting people interested in a microcap is having visibility in when you don't need to hit capital markets, especially on bad terms, right? That's what kills microcaps. It's like, you got to go raise money. Okay, fine. But then they raise money at like a huge discount with warrants, and that like kills the capital structure. Like, so that's what we want to understand. Maybe I'm going to let Charlie speak to this part a little bit instead of Samir. But like, how's that look for someone getting into the stock, looking at this here? What's the outlook for like the timeline on when we can get? Because here's the point, Charlie. If a microcap is in a position where you can say, look, I'm basically cash flow break even, right? And if you want to now hit capital markets for growth, you can get much better deals, and you don't have to get these warrants. You don't have to get these toxic financing and death spiral warrants because you're profitable, or you're cash flow profitable, or cash flow break even, or you're very close to it, right? So that's what I'm trying to get to. It looks like you might have that there. I don't want to, but based on what you're saying, just a few more million revenue. But Charlie, can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah. So look, I think the capital structure of this is looks pretty good compared to a lot of SPACs coming out of the gate. He's burning very little. He's going to have enough money to get through 12 to 18 months without having to refinance himself. He's got an FPA in place for another 3 million shares of placement into the market, if that's indeed what he wants to do. The price is currently set at $12 a share. There's no ratchet effects. It's one of the cleanest FPAs you'll ever look at. So I think and that's going to allow him to tap the capital markets when and if he needs it for any sort of inorganic or additional organic investment in sales or marketing or anything else, without having to pay an underwriter, without having to go borrow money at stupid convertible note rates. The one thing that we want as really long-term investors that are going to be holding this for the next 5 to 7 years in our funds is we want the same things that any other investor wants. We are fully aligned. And we don't want those toxic instruments in place either. I mean, that just kills the performance of our vehicles. So, we're talking the same language, man.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Do you have like a personal stake in the company or any incentives? What kind of incentives do you have?
Through the transaction, not only are our funds invested, but I'm personally invested in the sponsor equity that's going into this vehicle.
Okay, great. And Samir, are you comfortable telling us, or maybe it's public? Probably is. I don't know. Like, what percent of the common shares you're going to be owning here after the deal's closed?
Yeah, I think it's in the disclosures as well. I'll have about 6.5 million shares or so.
Okay, 6.5 million out of what was it again? 26 million. Cool. All right, and I got that. So we got a few minutes left, and in the last few minutes, I want you to talk about the future and basically, the most important thing is like inflection catalysts. Like, are there any big moments in the next few quarters? Any kind of deal you're trying to get closed or whatever, where it's like, oh, this going to propel us to the next level or is going to propel us to profitability. Is there anything like that that might happen over the next few quarters, and what might that be?
Well, that's one. If I can just jump in briefly, and I'll let Samir opine on this as well. But I think that's one of the ones that we can talk about elliptically. We can't say stuff that hasn't been put out into the public domain yet. But I think there are opportunities to look at to grow both organically and inorganically in the next year without any sort of issue. I think there are a number of things that Samir is working on, but until they are ripe enough to put out on an 8K, we've got to be a little bit cautious about what we say and don't say.
Mm-hmm. Do you need such a catalyst to get to profitability, or are you just going to get there through the organic growth that you're experiencing now? Samir.
Oh, we can definitely get to profitability with organic growth.
Okay, and can you give us a little glimpse into what sort of timeline based on your growth rate? Give us a little guidance on direction on when that might happen. Is that something that can happen? Because you're not too far. You're just talking. You already grew 16% 2023 to 2024. You need another few million. Is it possible you can get to profitability sometime towards the end of 2026?
So as I said, the growth rate would change as we get the funding, right? Because we haven't had money to spend on sales and marketing at all. We have a very small sales and marketing team, so I'd be able to provide better prediction on the growth rate that turns into when we can get profitability once we have the funding and once the money is in and so forth.
Okay. But even before that, it sounds like you're growing organically anyway, even without that additional money, right?
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Because if you do that math, like 15% a year, if that continues from 23 to 24, even without the marketing boost, it's not far off in the field. It's not like something 5 years away. Like you're on pace to get towards profitability in the foreseeable future, it looks like.
Yeah, so if I can jump in, Ben. So I think you end up with a situation where he'll get to profitability in a steady state environment without any additional marginal funding. But if he wants to change his growth rate from 18% to 45%,
got it.
He's going to invest in sales and marketing and that'll create a boost in growth, but also a boost in spending. So you end up with this catch-up period that may be in place, and it depends on how profitable and what the lag time is on converting new business.
Okay, listen, we're running a little bit late. We're right at the close. I do have to ask one more question. If you can summarize as quickly as you can, Samir. We all love the AI space. We see you do AI, but a regular person who's not an AI expert can understand, what end application do you facilitate? Like, how do you make a difference in my life, your product? Ultimately, what are you facilitating here to happen for the end user?
So our customers are B2B customers who may sell to other businesses or to their end users who may be direct consumers. And some examples of the AI engines we have is, for example, fraud detection for travel retail, right? Where it's looking at coupon fraud, tip fraud, very specific fraud related to travel retail. Or it could be another engine, which is information extraction from lease agreements, where it is extracting information extraction with high accuracy to create rent rolls for the businesses. That will have a downstream effect for the end consumers of those businesses. But we are primarily in a business of helping enterprises, fairly large enterprises, to implement AI with our AI Studio and services.
Okay. You familiar with a company, publicly traded company called IntelliCheck? Have you heard of them?
IntelliCheck, I am not familiar.
They do something with fraud detection. They do something with fraud detection for banks and social media. I don't know, like verifying identities. I don't know, and they use AI for that.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
So I'm not an expert in this stuff. We'll have to do more research on exactly what you guys do. But my takeaway from this is I want to reiterate the ticker symbols and everything. So it's CSLMF. In fact, if you don't mind, before you guys leave, I'm gonna share my screen here. So we have CSLMF is the common shares. In 2 weeks, roughly, when NASDAQ approves it, it's going to switch to FUSE.
Yes.
The ask is terrible here. It's 260 by $6. So you can't really trade this, but you have a liquid way of getting into this stock. It's CSLRF, which is 23 cents by 27 cents, which is the rights to get one share. Are these exercisable immediately, Charlie, if you own the rights?
They're automatically convertible at the time of the closing on NASDAQ.
Oh, beautiful. All right. So then, that's easy to calculate. Let's say CSLMF trades at $5. Then these should trade at 50 cents, right? It's a 10-to-1 conversion. So looks to me personally, look, I'm not recommending what people should buy or sell. But if you're interested in this story, if you like what you heard over here, I do recommend the way to do it is going to be the rights, CSLRF. And there might be an opportunity. We'll talk more about it in our story trading community as we get closer to the conversion to the ticker symbol FUSE. But there might be a re-rating of the stock a little bit. That tends to happen when you go from OTC to NASDAQ. You tend to get some good spikes in the stock. So if that happens, then you can see a nice return on this CSLRF. I'm not recommending that. You got to make your own decision whether you want to do that or not. All right. And with that, any final words, anything important that I missed that either of you want to touch on?
No, I don't think. I think the only thing that you should think about when you're looking at the rights is you shouldn't be looking at Fusemachines as a PE on its trailing numbers. You should be looking at it as something on a projection on its forward-looking numbers.
Got it. All right. Makes sense. Thank you, Charlie, so much. Thank you, Samir.
Thanks, Ben.
We'll talk to you next time. By the way, I think we have something. I think you're on Wolf Financial next Tuesday. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right. So we're going to have a conversation with Wolf Financial Tuesday, I believe at 1:30 p.m. So if you want to hear more, that's going to be more of a panel discussion with other folks. It'll be fun. Nice format. So we'll talk to you then Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thanks indeed.
All right.
Thank you.
Rest of these story trading folks, hang around 1 second. Oops, I forgot to. I'm here. Sorry about that. I forgot to, I have to play that first. So we get that. So the YouTube will automatically have the right outro. Okay. Anyway, that was interesting. Quickly, Rex, I want to get to Wolf, but what do you think of that?
So my takeaway from this is I think with what they're doing now, I think that's going to be a huge market, and it's just going to keep evolving into a larger and larger market, especially with AI, with how it's been taking over the whole landscape, with more B2B, just business to business companies out there that are pretty much just going to be integrating AI into everything. And I mean, you're going to need what they're building pretty much to just like sift through all that information. So it's all legit in all that aspect. Yeah, so that's my just takeaway from it. So
the two things that sparked my interest is their burn rate, very low.
Yeah, very extremely low. Especially for AI, that is very low.
Yeah. They got his leveraging his background from being born in Nepal to be able to manage those 300 employees in Nepal. So I'm sure that keeps their burn rate pretty low. And then the other interesting thing is just this ARB opportunity. You know, the Godfather loves those ARB opportunities on the common stock. That's kind of interesting. And I'm not going to do it right now, but it's on my radar. I might pick up some of these warrants at 20. Now they're at 27 cents. Because that's like buying the stock at 270 and the stock is now 260 by 599. And when this turns to Fuse, there's a good chance you'll see a big pop in the stock. So
definitely, I agree.
Anyway, that's that. So moving on to Wolf and my regrets, and I'm going to see. I saw like Yosef be like, "Oh my gosh, you're the best." Yeah, he probably made a killing, and oh man, I gotta work on that.
All out Wolf.
You're all out, Wolf. I'm not
all out, Wolf. No, yeah, I alerted the community that was all out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just up a touch for the day, because I got other positions and some of them aren't working. I'm up 0.8% on the day overall. But man, one of these days I got to start doing stock options on my own picks. I mean, I do them once in a blue moon, but I don't do it consistently and aggressively enough. I'd be up far more than 0.8% on the day if I did. Currently, my position size on Wolf is 6%. So I have a 6% position on Wolf. And it's looking good here.
It's about to be high today.
Yeah, I mean, my target's up there at 9:30. That's my target. So my target's up there at 9:30. I did sell a little bit during the interview. I saw it break this 20 MA. I'm like, that's a good place. Let me reduce a little bit. So I went from like 8% to 6%. And in any case, just
new high day.
Nice. And then I gotta do options, man. But anyway, look, I'm up 10 grand on this today, so that's not bad, right? 10 grand on one stock, but on the other hand, I'm getting killed on SPCB, which you guys bought with me, I guess, in pre-market, and I'm still sucking. Oh, I was gonna go listen to the Q&A, so let me just quickly look at the Q&A for Supercom. Let's see here. And there were analysts. That's nice. There were some questions. Let me see if I can quickly find any nuggets. All right. Maxim Group. Okay, Maxim Group was the first question. Is asking about opportunities to expand in Israel.
So they are also in finance as well.
Who? What?
I'm looking. They're AI engines.
Oh, Fuse. You're talking about Fuse?
Yeah, I'm going into a deep dive right now.
And now Maxim then talked about opportunities in Europe. Looking forward to the next 4 to 6 quarters. Saying is the opportunity similar to what you're seeing in the US? We're talking about business dev in Latvia, Lithuania, and Sweden. But they're saying it looks like the US market is 6 times larger than the Europe market. And it's much easier because you have to deal with different languages in Europe. Everything is centralized in English in the United States. So let's see where they're focusing. Higher margins in the US. $30 contracts in the US. Higher potential in the US and Europe. Then Maxim talks about acquisitions.
Good thing we didn't chase ASTS today.
Someone asked me why Rocket Lab, not ASTS, this morning in the VIP channel, and I told them why.
Rocket Lab's pulling back. Peaked around 10 a.m. this morning. 45.69, pulled back. I'm not sure.
And we have Kingswood Capital. After Maxim, we had Kingswood Capital come on. Talking about your very strong margin expansion and if there's opportunities for further margin expansion. I don't see any question. I'm looking for stuff like what's next quarter look like? What's your guy? What's the year look like? I don't see that yet. All right. So no, there was no guidance given, unfortunately. So I don't know. Anyway, that's it. We're going to continue with our Discord, folks. If you want to join the community, head on over to storytrading.com and you can join our community where we gave you a wolf this morning at $6.40 with a $9.30 target. We're already at $8.10. Some serious alpha being made in the community today. On that crystal ball prediction, we have them almost every single day. And what's crazy is they almost always happen on the number one pick of the day. The consistency of our number one pick of the day is absolutely ridiculous. Some people making fortunes in our community on my own ideas, right? I don't know. Oh well, you know what? I'm up 1%. I hope that's beating the market today. Let's see. Oh yeah, everything's red, so I'm beating the markets. I guess that's all I can ask for. All right, everyone. We'll see you at storytrading.com, and you can join there. Oh, look, there's a 10% code off. You can use this code Morning Note.
Yep.
Put that up just for you guys because someone asked earlier. All right, we'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.
Here.
Bye-bye.